Do you feel ashamed while discussing about vagina? Or are you the one who is too much conscious about it? Don't worry. In this video, we will deeply discuss about all the queries you have in your mind. We will also discuss about the useless products available in the market for virginal use. They are nothing but just the waste of money. Vagina Bible is written by Dr. Jennifer Gunter for the empowerment of women through correct information about their own bodies. Let's start the summary.
Chapter number 1.
The lack of reliable information leads women to false beliefs. There are two schools of thought when discussing the vagina. Either they don't talk about it because they recount it dirty and off-limits, or they consider old wives' tales and stories they've seen online. The truth is that many women do not understand their vagina. If a part of your body is responsible for sexual pleasure, not understanding it and not taking proper care of it is a big problem. Otherwise, how can you have a great sex life? Throughout history, there has been an obsession with vaginal purity, and virginity was used to measure the worth of a woman. Dr. Jen Gunter wants to help you throw all those thoughts out the window. However, you must first comprehend your anatomy. Even many people do not know the difference between vulva and vagina. The vulva includes the colliculus, labia majora and minora, clitoris and hood, vestibule, perineum, and urethra. On the other hand, hymen has been a hot topic for years. This thin lining can be damaged by first intercourse or other activities such as horse riding. The hymen was once thought to represent virginity, but thankfully we now know that this is not true.
Chapter number 2.
There is no reason to be ashamed of a woman's sexuality. Did you know that? The hormones released during orgasm make you feel good even after the sensation wears off. You may feel happy and relaxed and want to sleep. Even now, when women openly talk about their sexuality, they are judged by certain sections of society. Patriarchy teaches girls from an early age that their vaginas are dirty and should not be talked about. Dr. Gunter argues that it's impossible to have a good sexual relationship if you don't learn about your vagina. However, understanding women's sexuality is not that difficult. The main role here is the clitoris. Some women can only reach orgasm through vaginal penetration, but most women need clitoral or nipple stimulation, which makes some women think there is something wrong with them, but it isn't. When a woman experiences orgasm, it can last from 5 seconds to 1 minute. During this period, the muscles of the pelvic floor contract rapidly. Of course, we read fairy tales in magazines and imagine they can help us too. One such issue is the mythical G-spot. In 1950, Dr. Ernst Grafenberg discovered the female G-spot and published a paper claiming it could lead to intense orgasms. However, further research revealed that Grafenberg's G-spot is nothing more than the clitoris, vaginal wall, and urethra. Stimulating this area certainly feels good, but there is no real spot that will give every woman the perfect orgasm.
Chapter number 3.
There is no connection between the gut and the vagina. We live in a diet-obsessed world, and some influencers will tell you to eat certain foods if you want your body to look or smell a certain way. The same goes for the vagina. You may have heard of people eating fruit to make their vaginas smell sweeter. However, this is just a myth, because there is no connection between the digestive system and the vagina. This myth is harmful because it forces women to focus on diets that limit important vitamins and minerals, which can lead to eating disorders. Dr. Gunter explains that she has seen many women eliminating sugar from their diet because of the mistaken belief that it will help them avoid yeast infections. Women should eat healthy food for their whole body and stop worry about the effect of certain foods on their vagina.
Chapter number 4.
Vaginal douche is a way for companies to make money. If you go to a health store or supermarket, you can find a variety of vaginal hygiene products for sale. The fact that business seems to be booming in this niche shows that women should buy and use them to keep their vagina fresh and healthy. Your vagina will never smell like roses, and it isn't supposed to be. However, a strong, unpleasant odor may indicate an infection. Dr. Gunter explains that there is no need to wash the vagina or vulva because they clean themselves. However, if you wish, you can also clean the external areas with cleansing products. If you do, make sure the pH is between 5.3 and 5.6, and there are no added fragrances. Your vagina is a self-cleaning oven. Dr. Jen Gunter.
Chapter number 5.
Knowledge about menstruation and sexually transmitted diseases is essential for all women. Every woman has a separate menstrual cycle. However, understanding the menstrual cycle is essential. In this way, you will know when you should be examined by a doctor. One of the biggest deterrents to tampon use is toxic shock syndrome, TSS. However, it is important to mention that this is a very rare disease, and there is no need to fear using tampons. Toxic shock syndrome is your body's reaction to a certain type of toxin that enters the bloodstream. When it comes to STDs, it's always important to protect yourself and understand the risks that increase your chance of getting an STI. Under 25 years, have many sexual partners, new sexual partner, unprotected sex. Having anal sex, microtears can put you at a greater risk.
Chapter number 6.
Leave your vagina alone. It's perfect, just the way it is. There is an alarming increase in the number of requested cosmetic procedures on the vaginal area. Vaginal aesthetics is a completely new area of cosmetic surgery that is causing concern among doctors. Many of these procedures are unnecessary, and some may not be tested enough to be considered safe. There are very few situations where vaginal cosmetic surgery is required. One is when a woman has extremely large labia that catch on her clothing and cause irritation when walking. In this case, a surgical intervention is necessary, which will make it more pleasant and improve the quality of life. We are programmed to believe that small labia are desirable, but vaginas come in all shapes and sizes and are completely normal. Some of the most famous required cosmetic procedures these days include G-shot, O-shot, and perineoplasty. Most women want to tighten their vaginas, and Dr. Jen Gunter suggests that Kegel exercises are a much better, safer, and cheaper option than surgery. It is also likely that the effects of cosmetic procedures on the vaginal area may not last long anyway.
You have listened to the detailed summary, now let's get to the conclusion.
The word vagina is often said in hushed tones. We are told not to talk openly about this particular body part. But there is nothing dirty, unnatural, or embarrassing about your vagina. It's also a gateway for humans to enter the world. Learning to love it is much better and will lead to a healthy physical and more enjoyable sex life. Learning about the anatomy of the vagina and its surroundings means you can understand your body and know when it may need to be examined by a doctor. But we must learn that every vagina is beautiful and natural, and there is no need to change, clean, operate, and steam. Leave it alone. Before, there were male doctors and rarely female ones. This means that everything they learned about female anatomy was done through their studies and passed on to all doctors since then. Fortunately, there is a better understanding of anatomy these days, and there are female doctors. But the sad fact is that the vagina has been stigmatized since the beginning. Try this.